Well, while the governor has lifted the stay-at-home order and moved into stage 1 of reopening, local jurisdictions are making their own decisions, and Howard County is taking a modified approach. And joining us this morning is County Executive Calvin Ball. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Well, you're welcome. So you have said that the numbers just aren't quite there yet in order to fully reopen. What do you need to see to move to stage 1?
Well, I think when we saw President Trump lay out some of the things that he thought were important, talked about 14 days of less cases, fewer cases. I think the governor laid out his building blocks, which included things like robust contact tracing. And so we're looking at many of the same things, looking at the number of cases, looking at contact tracing, looking at testing, looking at PPE, all the things that we need to ensure that we do reopen not only innovatively, but also safely and effectively.
I think there's been a growing frustration with people who are concerned about why some of the decisions have been made that they have been. For instance, pets in your county can go ahead and get their fur cut, but residents can't unless it's one client at a time. And barbershops and salons have been saying it's just not feasible to do that when you can only serve one at a time.
Well, I think that, number one, all of that frustration is understandable. We're all feeling the quarantine fatigue. However, we're seeing still many people not only who are testing positive, but who are asymptomatic. And when it comes to our pets, a lot of the pet grooming and things of that nature, many people look at as health. And health and doctor's office have remained open. And so while there are a lot of things that aren't how we would want, they are how they need to be in order to keep people safe.
So we're also hearing from people who are very frustrated that you're seeing more box stores like Walmart, Target, Home Depot, Lowe's. They are packed with people, and they want to know what magic do they have that the other small businesses don't have in order to be able to reopen.
Well, frankly, I think that is an example of why we're so concerned. We talk about reopening in a way, and we say that people will make the best decisions. However, when we do have some of those essential businesses that have things like food and things that will keep us safe, we don't see people always practicing the physical distancing, wearing masks, and doing things that we need to do to keep people safe. And so I think this is unprecedented. And we're all learning as things continue to evolve. But again, I think we're all working hard to keep people safe.
What types of conversations have you been having with your local school superintendent about what the fall might look like? So many parents are worried that distance learning is really failing their children.
So I stay in close contact with our superintendent, and we've been working together, and this is so different. Many people, not only educators, but as you indicated, our students and families didn't prepare to have to do so much online and virtually, and it's challenging. However, as you also noted, if we're looking at potentially not being able to start schools in the fall, reopening too fast in the spring is just not the right thing to do. And so we want to make sure that people do have access to devices, that they do have the kind of infrastructure to move things forward, and that they do have the support services that they need.
And before I let you go, any sort of estimated timeline for fully implementing stage 1?
So I think we are all working to get the things that we need, like the PPE, the testing. And so I think that the fastest that we can open in a safe and effective way, the better it is, because if we open too fast and then we have to close everything down and erase all the gains we've made, then we will be doing our community and our future a disservice.
All right, County Executive Calvin Ball, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Stay safe.
Thank you. You too.